Hey everybody, welcome to Showit Live here on Showiteer.com. I'm Field Denny. This is my amazing co-host, Elizabeth Langford.
Good morning or good afternoon, depending upon where you are checking in from.
Good evening if you're really far east.
If you're like in Europe.
Sure.
Watching out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wish I knew how to say something in French.
That'd
be cool.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah. Everything I know of French I learned from the Pink Panther movies.
Not Ratatouille?
Oh, they didn't speak French in that.
Speaking of movies, who went and saw it? You okay there?
Yep.
Who went and saw Jurassic World? I went and saw it last night.
Super good.
Super good. Like, and I'm kind of more into like the space movies.
Yeah.
But
hands down, best Jurassic movie ever.
Yes, probably.
I even put it right above Land Before Time.
Oh, do you guys remember Land Before Time? You actually have to be probably our age. You have to be like 30s and above to remember Land Before Time.
You're young. I'm old. Land Before Time.
I am older than you are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah.
So I saw a movie yesterday.
Yes.
But I'm pretty excited about something that's happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
On the internet.
Yeah, I'm going to go from watching a movie on a big screen.
Yes.
To my slightly smaller screen.
Yes.
On the interwebs. So this awesome company that we love to partner with, Shoot.edit. They've been doing some really cool webinars.
They have with some really cool people.
Yeah. And one of those really cool people is somebody that we absolutely love and adore, and she's going to be on tomorrow. So we're gonna bring her on real quick just to kind of tell us a little bit about it.
Welcome, Caitlin James, to Showit Live.
Yes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good.
It is hot here in Virginia. I don't know what it's like there, but it is hot over here.
It's ice cold in Arizona, like always.
We bet we can beat you on the heat index, but probably not on the humidity, because I think it's going to be 111 here today.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I'll stop complaining now.
Triple ones, the trip ones.
Gosh. Okay, maybe it's in our upper 90s, but it is humid outside. It is hard to breathe here.
Oh yeah. No, see, that's the best part about the dry heat is you can always breathe. You just can't swallow your spit.
It's just like living in a hairdryer.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, perfect.
On high. But you're going to be inside tomorrow, so you can beat the heat. Tell us a little bit about this webinar that you were doing with our friends over at Shoot.edit.
Jared, who is just the mastermind behind Shoot.edit, basically invited me to do this webinar, and I'd heard great things because our friends Justin and Mary have done a webinar with them, and they had a lot of fun. So I thought, well, gosh, yes, I would love to do this. So we've been planning it, and they are just on their A game with webinars. They just they've been back and forth with how it's going to go and planning it all out, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is getting really legit. So I'm excited. But I'm talking about blogging, and that seems to be the theme. We just did an event with Jordan and Amy that was all about blogging, and so it's kind of like the theme of this month, and I think it's really important because this is when everyone's working so hard to shoot weddings and then blog them. But a lot of times this is the part of the season, at least in our neck of the woods, where people are getting overwhelmed and they stop blogging. Mm-hmm. So I tell people all the time, people come to coaching and they haven't blogged in 6 months, and I'm like, oh no, their business is dying. But it's not that it's dying, it's that they haven't made time, or they don't have a good system for blogging and they don't make it happen. Mm-hmm. So perception is reality. And so I think it's going to be a great time just to talk through our system, because we have reaped the benefits of consistently blogging, and I want everyone else to know what those benefits are, and I want to teach people how to do it. So that's what tomorrow is.
So yeah, tomorrow is all about blogging. Mm-hmm. It's all about that blog.
All about that blog.
So people, you can go sign up. If you go to Shoot.edit's Facebook page, is probably the easiest place you can go to RSVP for this show. Yep. So Facebook.com. I don't know if you guys have been there. It's this neat place online. Facebook.com/shoot.edit, and dot is DOT, not just a period. But shoot.edit. Yeah, there it is right there.
You can sign up. It's completely free to watch this webinar, which is just awesome. I mean, I think that really tells you what Shoot.edit's heart and what Caitlin's heart is. They want you to have this information, and I think that idea that perception is reality is really important. When you stop blogging, people go to your blog and they're like, we haven't blogged in 6 months. She must not be shooting weddings anymore. And it might just mean you're shooting a lot of weddings, but it's important to get it out there. So we're super excited to tune in tomorrow and watch the webinar, Caitlin. We know you're going to be amazing, and you are going to share some information that's really going to change people's lives.
Yeah, and so 2 more things. One, I'm not afraid to plug it. Megan Marcus commented about how Come Together was amazing.
Yeah.
So what you mentioned you did with Amy and Jordan there, but you can also, people can repurchase this, right? So they can watch it online, which is crazy awesome.
They can. If you weren't able to be in Virginia with us last week, the whole thing was recorded. So 3 hours. It's 90 minutes of them and 90 minutes of us. And people are downloading it and they're loving it. We got emails last night of everyone who sat at home and watched it. And I got a little teary halfway through because ultimately our business is doing bigger things than just blogging and shooting weddings. Like, our blog is how we reach people and it's how we impact people's lives. So it's really cool. So I'll share some of that tomorrow, but yeah, the Come Together event is all on our shop, and people feel free. We have a few $99 downloads left. I think we have 7 left. So grab them if you want to.
Grab those.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
So, and then there's going to be one other opportunity that we know of for sure to see Caitlin James and hug Caitlin James and hang out with you. And that's coming here to Scottsdale, Arizona in October. Which it won't be 111 here.
No, it's gonna be amazing.
Amazing.
Scottsdale in October is the perfect weather. It's perfect pool party weather. And so October 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Fire Sky Resort, we are hosting Showit United, and we are super excited that Caitlin is going to be there. She's going to be sharing some really important information with you, and just getting to like hug and hang out. And she actually has a little promo code.
Yeah.
That if you go to showitunited.com and you click on the register button, you can use the promo code Caitlin, just her first name, and actually get $100 off your United ticket through midnight tomorrow night.
Yeah, and so then you can bank that $100 you save on that, and then go buy those.
Go get the Come Together video.
It's like a twofer,
right?
Yeah.
It's like we planned it, but we didn't.
We didn't. Yeah, that would require actual planning, and I'm more of a spontaneous kind of person.
It's just amazing when things come together.
Interesting.
Like that.
Good tie-in.
Right? Completely.
Jordan Demos gets all the credit for the name. He came up with it. He gets all the credit. So
that's awesome. Every time I hear it, I just keep thinking of that. Was it a Lenny Kravitz song? That Come Together.
You mean the Beatles?
Well, right.
Yeah.
But
Lenny Kravitz.
He redid it. The Beatles made it long before I was born. But when I was in college, that was like a big song. So and I'm super embarrassed right now. I'm going to turn red that I didn't realize that was a Beatles song.
No, it's all right. No, Oops. Have you heard of the Beatles?
Yes.
Okay, that's all that really matters.
Yes. And don't ask me to name all of them now.
There's only 4.
I couldn't make any of them.
What? Oh my gosh, you're so young.
Ringo, Paul, John. And does everybody always forget the 4th guy? I don't know. George?
You mean Paul?
I'm hearing a little George over in the corner.
Anyway.
Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's afternoon for you, it's morning for us, but we're super excited for the webinar tomorrow, and we just thank you for spending a little time with us today.
Yes, thanks so much for having me. Y'all have a good time today.
Thank you. Love you tons. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, Caitlin.
Bye. Oh, I love her.
She's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, she's really fantastic. So make sure that you guys check out the webinar tomorrow with Shoot.edit. You can go to their Facebook page to find out more information, sign up for that for free, and then you can maybe grab one of those Come Together tickets. That's a lot of really good information. I keep hearing great things about that event last week.
And you can also save $100. Go to showitunited.com and
come to Showit United.
Log when you sign up or when you register, use Caitlin.
Yes.
Katelyn.
That's right. That's how you spell her name.
Yep.
We actually have a Showiteer whose name is Caitlin, but has an E on the end. I'd never seen that before.
No.
I know.
And we have a Showiteer named Field as well. I'd never seen that before.
We have a lot of unique Showiteers. And we actually have a Showiteer. Our guest today is in studio, which means we can take off these, I always feel like I work for the FBI when I wear this thing.
Do we not work for the FBI? Oh.
We have an amazing guest in studio today, Danielle Blocker. Welcome, Danielle.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited that you are here.
In person.
Live and in person in the Showit Live studios.
Welcome to our studio.
Exactly, right? Welcome to this wonderful little corner of the world that we call home. And today we're going to talk about overcoming loneliness. And I don't know if you guys read Showiteer.com. I wrote a blog post about this last week. And since coming to work for Showit, I get to overcome loneliness quite a bit because I get to spend quite a few days with the guys in the office.
And they're all great.
Yeah, and they're
I heard
all.
you sit next to a talker.
I do. I sit next to one of these guys.
So annoying.
But when I was home before that and working for 5 years alone on my business, I totally dealt with this whole loneliness thing that nobody seems to want to talk about. But before we get into that and talking about the loneliness, can you tell everybody who's watching here at home who you are, what it is that you do, and how it is that you came to be here in studio with us today?
Well, I'm Danielle Blocker. I go by Danny, and I started photography a long time ago, and then I really wanted to get a degree, so I worked really hard to get a fine arts degree in photography, and then I focused on my family and my husband's degree and all of that. My daughter's going to be 5 tomorrow, and then now I was like ready to officially launch and just go with it full time. So for a long time I've been behind the scenes, all by myself and just, behind the scenes, but then joining communities and all of that, it's been amazing. So I do weddings and lifestyle portraits, so it's love, life, and beauty, and kind of a variety of everything, which I don't really specialize right now, but it works really well for me.
That's awesome.
And we are here in Arizona because I planned a vacation for back in February, and all of a sudden I said, hey, by the way, I'm going to be here in hot Arizona in June.
This is when everybody comes.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we went to the Grand Canyon yesterday and had a really nice day trip there.
Okay. And you get to see Sedona.
Yes,
right? Sedona's
I bought
amazing.
some art and
Now,
it was so nice.
this seems like a silly question, but have you been to Disneyland before?
Not Disneyland, but
Disney
World.
And do they have Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disney World?
I don't know. They have something like it. They have a.
I always,
something.
every time I go to Sedona, I always feel like I'm at Disneyland, at like Thunder Mountain Railroad, because there are these red rocks, and it almost doesn't look real, which is kind of the way the Grand Canyon can look. Sometimes you stand there and you're like,
Especially
it's so
on-
vast.
whoa. Yeah,
It's really amazing.
it's
I loved it.
totally
I took
fantastic.
so many landscape pictures because that's how I started, was landscape photography in
That's
Acadia
awesome.
National Park in Maine.
Okay,
I
very
lived there
cool.
for a long
So where do you live?
We live in Virginia right now, and that's where we're settling down and want to grow our home base. We just moved there in the last fall, and we had lived in Maine for 13 years, and
Okay.
too many winters,
But
too
plenty-
much snow.
But not enough lobster. Right?
Oh, lots of lobster
Yes.
for really, really good prices.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I went to Maine for the first time. I went to Portland, Maine last January, actually, for the Inspire Photo Retreat. And that was such an experience.
It's
Like,
beautiful
the
there.
winter is intense. They had dump trucks on the street at night that they were putting the snow in and hauling it out of the city because there was nowhere else to put it.
You think they just like melt it?
Yeah,
I
you would
know,
think it's
yeah.
not that easy though.
No, apparently.
Everybody outside with the hairdryer doing their part.
That, to me, that sounds.
We'll just
efficient.
bring your heat there in the wintertime.
Exactly. So let's talk about this reality of loneliness that comes in. I think some of it comes from the fact that you wear your pajamas all day and you just stay at home and you think, okay, today's not a day that I'm going to go out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a day you can't be connecting with other people. And tell us how you kind of came to this place, because I know that you make an effort every day to connect with others, and we want to know more about that. How did you get to that place where you realized, I got to do something different?
Well, for a long time, I was just home with my daughter, and she was home with me for a few years. So I got to stay home and then work and do little bits here and there. And but it gets lonely. It's just me and her, and I wasn't really ready to I wasn't confident enough to approach moms and be like, hey, I want to be your friend and let's hang out. And
That's normal. Like, hey, I'm home alone. You're home alone.
I never used it. My daughter taught me how to approach people. She, taught me to just go up to people and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, how are you? And I learned that from her. It's really amazing. So
Our kid's amazing.
yeah,
So-
you can learn so much.
Our daughter Grace does this. Like, she'll just go out and start making friends. We'll be like, oh, Grace, who's that? And she's like, that's my new best friend. I'm like, oh, like that's. She's me as a 6-year-old girl.
Aaliyah's
but-
best friend just moved to Italy. And now I have a reason to go there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
That's awesome. And with FaceTime and things, they can
yes,
still
they
interact
can.
and talk.
It
And
was so much fun. She was like, are you going to come to Italy to see us?
oh, that's
Until
great.
teacher that I love her. And
Yeah.
So having the world be so open with FaceTime and Facebook
Mhm.
and all of those social media is really like the best way to just, even if you don't want to meet people in person, if you're just a little unsure, just reach out to somebody on Facebook. That's how I started. When I moved to Virginia last fall, I just felt so alone.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know anybody, and I knew there was this amazing community, but you know, I reached out and connected with a few people like Nikki Metcalf and Megan Kelsey Marcus. I just connected with them. And I've also, even when there have good things going on, there were a few bad things that I heard about. People had bad experiences with other communities. And so I just, you know, reached out to them and I said, hey, you know, you have a friend in me. I know we've never met, but there's been a few instances where I've said, here's my phone number, call me. And it's just so important to be a sincere friend and to help them through and say, you know what, you know, it was tough what you went through, but you know, there's somebody here that cares about you. So I've done that a few times too, and I've made really, really good connections that way. And it's just genuine from my heart.
Lessons learned from a 4-year-old. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's huge. So, and then you started up. You mentioned, you know, getting into. You started in Facebook and getting into some of the Facebook communities. That's it. Actually, I met you through a Facebook community and then
Showiteer.
in person. But and so then you started one as well.
Yes, I did. Randomly
Randomly.
At 11 o'clock one night.
I've started many a Facebook group at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I just I want to live in the moment and not second guess. If I have an idea, this was an idea I had way back when I contemplated what is it that I have to offer and what do I want to teach. And I realized that I worked so hard for so long to build my own confidence. And I want to help other people embrace their confident side and not and let go of the insecurities and the fears and all of the things that we face rejection all the time in our business, you know, and you don't have anybody to, you know, you can turn to your loved ones, but sometimes it's hard. They don't always understand how it feels when you put such a personal, you put yourself out there in your work and then it gets rejected and it hurts sometimes. So basically I just had this idea for this Facebook group that would be a place where everybody could come and have a safe place to just get support when they are feeling nervous about something before a shoot, before meeting clients. There's been so many great topics. Pricing was a huge one that got brought up recently, and that's a huge place of insecurity and not knowing.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you could talk for days about pricing, but a whole variety of topics that have been amazing. And then I love afterwards, if you're nervous about something and you share, I love seeing the photos that come a bit after. So, you know, before a wedding day, and share one of your favorite photos from the wedding day. It's really been, the community is kind of evolving and growing slowly. And every time somebody thinks to come in there and give a little bit of themselves, it's hard to put that insecurity out there and into words. And I know a lot of people read silently but they get something from it, even if they're not participating in it. And
I always think of so way back in the day, there was this thing called radio. I don't know, have you guys heard of radio? So way
They
back
used to
in the
play
day,
the Beatles on the radio.
They used to play the Beatles on the radio, and I would actually listen to the Beatles on the radio. But you'd always hear, you know, there'd be like the late night. I remember Delilah, right?
Oh, I love Delilah.
It was terrible, and I could sing the whole tunes for you, which is awful. But you know, you'd always hear the long-time listener, first-time caller, you know, and it's like people do that. People will listen and they'll pay attention and they'll read and they'll get they'll get a lot out of it. So I always try to be encouraging when you're sharing something. Like, just know and this is a big deal with blogs, right? That will be talked about probably tomorrow. You know, writing to an invisible audience, and you know, you don't know if people are reading it, blah blah blah. But no, just reaching out there and sharing it, somebody's going to get something important and valuable from it. And even if you don't get comments and you don't get immediate feedback, like just go out there and share and be that, you know, encouraging.
So I don't think I said. So the name of the community is Butterflies and Confidence. Which was kind of hard to come up with in the middle of the night. I'm like, what do I call this community that I had in mind? And I just, somebody was posting on Facebook and I gave feedback, and she said how confident she felt after what I had said. And I said, I'm just going to do this. So I was like, what do I call this? And a mentor I worked with recently, she said, you know, butterfly was the perfect word, because it's like we're all, you know, caterpillars, and then they
Right.
turn into butterflies and
You go through
evolve.
the whole evolution.
Yes. So I never even realized that when I started it and called it Butterflies in Confidence, what the deeper meaning was and how much people would like it and it would affect people. So it's really been
Well, good
an amazing
job.
experience.
Good name choice.
Thank you.
I'm glad you didn't choose like just butter and confidence. That would have been
Flies.
That is for like late night
Completely
comfort
different.
food cooking.
Mhm.
That's a whole other group, right?
That should be a group.
But I think really the point is that life is kind of like that 8th grade dance that just keeps
Yes.
going on and on and on.
And
Where
I have
you're
a
like,
broken foot.
yeah, where you're like, do I get out and dance? I really like this music. Are they going to judge me? Are they going to talk to me? Are they my friend? Are they going to talk about me when I walk away? And you just never kind of get over that feeling that you might not be on the inner circle, but everybody else is feeling the exact same way. Everybody else is like, oh, I've got to push myself to get out there. And I think it's really important. I think blogging, like you said, is such a big part of this. A lot of people, I'll see them write, I don't know what to write about. I actually think we do know what to write about, but we don't want to write about it because we don't want to be judged
we don't want to be
I don't know exactly what to write about. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do this, not gonna share this. And so I think having that confidence to step out and share those things is awesome. But a lot of that confidence comes, at least for me, from having friends that I know that will support me. And it's not just my mom, although Mom, I love you. It's not just my mom who's gonna comment on a blog post or comment on something on Facebook. It's this other core group of friends. And so that's stepping out from being lonely.
Yes, that's why I love this group, because I've realized as I started it and as more and more people come to support, and I've realized how much more it builds my confidence and how much just having that support really helps build, just connecting with people genuinely and having their support and knowing that somebody else is out there, caring about your success and loving on you. It really does help build your confidence. And
knowing that someone else is going through what you're going through, I think it validates your experience. It sort of puts the badge on you, like that's okay. Everybody else is feeling
everybody's
this.
worried about.
Welcome to the club. We have members only jackets.
We should get members only jackets.
We should.
Or not. I don't know.
Should like bright red ones.
That would be. I like blue.
Yeah.
I don't.
By the way, I feel like we're playing a game now. I feel like I need a bigger mug.
Well, someone had commented, I think it was Megan, that my mug is really large, and I actually found this mug the other day, and I like it because it is so big. It's like the size of my head. It's just like my iPhone. Just amazing. I don't know. I like things that are like.
And everything looks bigger when you hold it.
That's true.
That's very true.
That's true. Field tried to show me how to hold this mug with like 2 fingers. I'm like, that's an accident waiting to happen.
Exactly. We're gonna have tea all over our lap.
So I had read on one of your posts about how you make a conscious effort sort of daily, not just like once a month or once a week and put it on the calendar, like to-do list, like you make a conscious effort daily to overcome this loneliness. How does that work?
It only takes like a minute or two to just reach out to, we all have so many connections and so many friends in all different, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or any social media, and just really, I hashtagged it cultivating connections, cultivating connections, because I really think it's important to reach out and genuinely connect with somebody and not just say, how are you doing? Say, how are you really doing?
Right.
Are you having a good day or a bad day? And just really knowing that somebody actually cares and that you've made a difference in that person, and just telling them thank you, or whatever they have going on. I just want to reach out and connect with somebody. Right. And they might not respond back right away, but maybe it might be that little thing that they needed to just, get out of bed for the day or get their, PJs off, or, just really, I think it's so important to just, and it's something I just recently started with this minimalist series that I've been going through. And one day it just randomly, the challenge just kind of inspired me to just start doing this, and I realized how important it is. And it makes you feel good too, because you're reaching out, and everything that you put out comes right back to you. And
you're infusing things with positivity too, I think, which is really important. I remember when I first got started, I actually had emailed a very well-known photographer here in the Valley. I'll name her Melissa Jill. And I asked Melissa if I could second shoot for her, not knowing that she has a whole second shooter associate program happening. And she emailed me back and she said, as of right now, I don't need anyone. but don't let me be the last person you ask. Ask someone else. And I asked more and more and more people, and I finally found a girl who I second shot for an entire year. I think I second shot 14 weddings for her in that year, unpaid, because I was just hungry.
Yes.
Like I just wanted to learn. But someone took a chance on me, and so I did that then for another girl who became a wonderful friend and who is a much better photographer than I am now, and she's growing her business. And it's just awesome how one person's, Melissa's positivity of don't let me be the last person you ask, motivated me, because if she just never responded or just said no, I would have personally been hurt, even though that wasn't her intention at all. But I think it's so easy to go, oh, I should just stop now.
There's that one chance I had.
Yeah, so always being positive and encouraging is great.
I'm all about that. If you get rejected in whatever, whether it's on Two Bright Lights or anywhere, maybe it's just not the right fit. But don't let that hurt your confidence, and don't let that take you down. Like always just embrace the rejection with positivity and say, well, how can I help you? Even though you don't need me for this, how can I help you? I always do that with weddings. If I'm rejected for a wedding, I say, if there's anything you need, anything in the future, non-photography related, it's just so good to embrace that rejection with a positive, because you never know. They may say, well, you're not right for me, but my best friend is perfect for you because she loves modern style.
Right.
So you never know where it could lead if you embrace rejection with.
And the more connections you make, the less lonely I think you will be. And some of the overcoming loneliness is just making yourself get out of your pajamas and schedule
At least
that.
put a nice top on so you can schedule a video
so
chat.
you can Skype with someone.
Google Hangouts, Skype, FaceTime.
Oh, Google Hangouts are great.
So much fun.
You've actually done some Google Hangouts, right? Where you play
I've
games.
done one or two.
No, but like intentionally, where they're like you play.
For sure.
Cards Against Humanity or something.
Some
something
game for
like
horrible people.
But again, that's an opportunity to connect, and not every connection has to be photography related, right? Like you can connect with another photographer, and it could be another mom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even just going to my daughter's school in the fall, I was so insecure and unconfident, and I didn't even reach out to any of the moms that I was passing by in the hall and say hi. You never know if that person across the room wants to say hi to you, and they're nervous too. So just learning that from my daughter was amazing. But just connecting with other moms and just making friends.
That's awesome. I did something called stroller strides, and anybody out there on the chat know what stroller strides is?
Oh, I've never heard of this.
It sounds great.
It's like boot camp for moms and babies. And so when Lily was 8 weeks old or whatever, I put her in a stroller, and you go out and you do lunges and you run with your stroller.
So
and
moms do this all the time.
Yeah, and you connect with these other moms. And I'm such a nerd, but I made business cards that said, "Hi, I'm Lily's mom," and had my phone number on it and my email address. So if you wanted to do a play date, and I've learned over the years, as moms, you get referred to as Lily's mom, right? You don't
have an actual.
You don't have an identity anymore.
Your identity is your child's parent.
Totally. But then that stuff gets passed around, and it makes it easier. It's kind of an icebreaker. Tell us about meeting with other photographers in person, and how you how you go from Skype dating or Skype chatting with other photographers to actually we're gonna make a date. We're gonna get together.
Yeah. Well, one recently, she had again gone through a hard situation in another community, and I just reached out and I said, let's meet for coffee. And while we were meeting, she said, I feel like this is a mentor session already. I was teaching her so much, and we were just meeting for coffee. And except I don't drink coffee. I drink Diet Coke.
That's okay. I drink tea.
But I think overall my best reaching out to people in communities has been through all the amazing positive communities that are out there, like Shoot and Share and the Showiteers, Richmond, where I met Field, and oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. There's the Rising Tide Society and Tuesdays Together. Creative at Heart was one really amazing conference, and it's this big movement. There's so many great communities out there that a lot of people are kind of nervous to go out there and go to this Tuesdays Together meetup. And what do I wear? And really it's just everybody there is feeling the same way, and just know that if you just put yourself out there, you'll be so thankful that you did, and you'll just, even if you make one really good connection and one really great friend, it's amazing. You never know who you're going to meet. And honestly, I think everybody you meet knows something you don't know. So for me, I'm really love embracing meeting new people and getting to know them. And I've come to really, really enjoy it. But just putting yourself out there for a community and just going.
I know that's not easy. Like, it's pretty easy for me.
It was hard the first time.
I realize that I'm weird. I like walking into a room and knowing nobody. Like, I realize that I'm not normal. But I'm married to somebody who's very normal. As far as like, if she doesn't know somebody there, she's not going to want to go. But a couple of years ago, there's this group called Showiteers, and she went and she met up, and she met one of her absolute best friends there, and it was the same situation, like going not knowing anybody, and now they're great friends, and it's just one of those things. Like, I highly encourage you to go out and meet the people in your area, and if you have something in common like the Showiteers, I definitely highly recommend that. But or maybe they go into United or something. But
wait for United.
So
much fun.
It's gonna be so great. It's great to talk online and on Facebook. But we really believe that community, you have to have in-person connections with people. You've got to be able to like sit on the couch and give them a hug.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, right. It's like it changes things. And my dad gave me some advice when I was younger that has stuck with me. It said, if you want to stay friends with people, you have to continually make memories with them. Because when you don't make memories with them, you lose that connection between the two of you. And I thought, wow, that advice was good, Dad. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that really is true. Like, hey, remember that time you came and we did the show? And
I love it.
That's a memory, right? I'm still remembering it right now. But I think that's a really important part. So so we hope you guys can come to United, but also get together in the place that you live, because someone else is lonely right where you're at, and they're experiencing the same things. And they don't necessarily have to be photographers, right? I mean, you can. There are other vendors. Florists are lonely too, and I'm sure cake bakers. Like, you spend a lot of time at home if you're baking cakes, right? You have to do that.
I want to be friends with the cake bakers,
right?
So
like the red velvet and the carrot cake bakers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think there's some exciting things coming, not only with United, but even after United, for those cake bakers and for those florists and stuff. There may be some. I'm just gonna drop a little hint there. There may be something really neat coming for those people who maybe aren't already in our community. So I'm just throwing that out there into the internet.
Guilt is always oversharing.
Oversharing a little bit. But anyways, thank you so much for coming in today and for being so encouraging for people to get out there and really just the way the community can change not only your business but your life in such a positive way.
It really has changed my whole life and how I present myself and how I feel, and just being confident and having that support from community is really amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And then everybody can have that, right? There's no price. You just have to make the effort to make it happen.
It's fine. And no matter how busy you are, just take that night and go out and meet, whatever community group is meeting, and just take that little bit of time, and you'll find that it's so worth it to do.
For sure.
That's awesome. Well, Danielle, thank you for joining us. You guys, thank you for joining us so much. Be sure you join us next week because it's going to get a little Christmassy.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, June 23rd is actually half Christmas.
Are you sure it's not like June 26th?
No, it's June 23rd.
Well, we're gonna do it on June 23rd.
I don't know how to math or do dates, but I'm pretty sure it's June 23rd-ish.
It is.
So maybe half Christmas?
Half Christmas. Next week, we are going to be celebrating that we are halfway to Christmas.
Which is ridiculous, because I'm pretty sure it's March.
I think you are so bad at math. So next week, join us. We're going to be doing a very interesting episode and doing some things we have never done before.
And we actually have a really awesome guest who also lives out on the East Coast, just moved to Carolinas.
Yes, that's true.
It's going to be fun.
Check in next week. We'll see you guys at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure that you don't miss the webinar tomorrow. Caitlin James and Shoot.edit, and you can find all that information on Shoot.edit's Facebook page. Danielle, again, thanks for joining us. Have an amazing week, you guys. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.